This is Black Writers Read. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning to those who are joining me from the West Coast. Thank you all for joining me today for episode 22 of season 6 of Black Writers Read. My name is Nicole Young Martin, and I'm the founder, producer, and host of the series. I tried to do a drum roll on my desk. Today, we're hosting our 100th guest. We have been doing the countdown to 100 for a while. I was just talking offline with my guest today, and I was like, my associate producer and I was just like, okay. And I'm like counting down things. I hope that she can confirm this too. But today is our 100th guest. I am so excited to talk with her, one, because she's a children's book author, and we rarely get an opportunity to chat with authors of this particular genre, but also she's a Nikki. I'm Nikki to my family. And just her energy, like I'm super excited. I've had a chance to see other interviews with her online and just to talk with her offline. Today is going to be such an exciting conversation. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, today we're welcoming the 100th guest to the Black Writers Read platform. Black Writers Read showcases, celebrates, and honors the words, work, and traditions of Black writers from across the country, across genres, across experiences, and across the African diaspora. Black Writers Read is a behind-the-scenes conversation into the craft and what it means to create as a Black author in today's society. Since starting the series on Juneteenth in 2020, we've hosted 100 writers representing 15 plus genres from 6 countries and 28 states. Our platform includes the live stream interviews, audio podcasts, book clubs, and curriculum integration assistance. Find us online at blackwritersread.com. Today, we welcome Nikki McPhetridge. Nikki McPhetridge is a first-time author, storyteller, and creator of Maya's Birthday Wish. As a mother, dreamer, and believer in the power of play, Nikki brings heartfelt stories to life that celebrate kindness and imagination. Oh my God, I love that. As Maya's birthday approaches, she wonders what to wish for: toys, treats, or something even more special. Maya sets off on a whimsical journey through her imagination, discovering that the best wishes come from the heart. Maya's Birthday Wish, which we'll be talking about today, received the 2025 Book Fest Award. Learn more about Nikki and Maya's Birthday Wish by visiting mayastoryland.com. That is mayastoryland.com. Maya's Birthday Wish is available for purchase directly from Nikki's website and also on Amazon. So, for those of you who are new to Black Writers Read, here's what's going to happen. Nikki will read from Maya's Birthday Wish, and then we'll chat. I will be monitoring the comment section. We typically have people tuning in from Facebook and YouTube. If you have a comment, kudos, congratulations, flowers, questions for today's guest, please put them in the comment section. I'll monitor them. I'll either insert them during our conversation if it's an appropriate time, or hold them to the end. So I'd now like to welcome our 100th guest, Nikki McPhetridge, to the virtual stage.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Congratulations.
Thank you. And Nikki, oh my God. Because also too, I think one of the things that you should put in your bio, from what I'm seeing in other interviews, you're very passionate about child development and you're an educator in your own way. And I'm an educator, oh my God, I am so excited. Especially, I feel like I didn't pose this question to you officially, but I feel like we can also even talk about like literacy, which the other day, before I turn it over to you to read, I learned, and this broke my heart. And I see it because I teach at community colleges. I saw a video that talked about the literacy rate now. Adults are only able to read at the 6th grade level.
6th grade level. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What?
Mind blowing, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know what our age difference is, but I'm like, I'm 46 and
42.
Oh wow. Okay, we are around the same age. And so we probably grew up in the generation where we took field trips to the library.
Yes.
Like I learned how to read at 2. Like this is one of the reasons why I started the podcast, because so many
Mm-hmm.
people, and I'm glad there's many of us now. There are, I don't know how many Black literary podcasts, Instagrammers, booktubers, but I'm glad there's so many of us out there. But I remember there was a time when these platforms didn't exist, and I feel like now they need to exist even more so, because people are being discouraged in so many ways to not read.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's another reason why I wanted to write a book. We got to get back to the basics. Got to get back to the way things
Yeah.
were. But everybody, oh, you don't want to get into that yet. Okay.
Yes, we
We'll wait,
will.
because we'll get into that. The whole thing that I believe it's hindering all of that is, your devices. But we'll get into
Yes. Yeah, I'm so excited.
that.
So, Nikki, I'm going to
Oh,
turn it
yes.
over to you to
Oh,
read, and I'll
yes.
be back to chat.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yes. Happy reading.
All right, everyone. So I'm just going to read a couple of pages from Maya's Birthday Wish, a book that I have written and had published last August. All right, here we go. Happy birthday, Maya, her mom says. Do you know what you're going to wish for today? Your birthday wish counts as double, her father says. Make it a good one. Really? I am so excited. I need to really think about this. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit. Maya, it is time for cake and to make that special birthday wish. Dad brings out the cake and everyone starts to sing happy birthday. Happy birthday, Maya. I love you, Mom and Dad. Okay, Maya, it's time to make your wish and then to blow out your candles. Maya stares at the candle on her birthday cake and then looks up at everyone, and a huge smile comes across Maya's face. I know what my birthday wish is. After trying to figure out all day long what her wish was going to be. Was it going to be unlimited candy? Was it going to be a unicorn or a pony? I don't know. You're going to have to wait and see. I believe it's going to be something much more special than that. One of
Yes, thank you. And this just brought me, I almost cried a little bit, because I grew
oh
up, my brother, we're 15 years apart, he's younger. I grew up as an only child, and I just remember like my parents making a really big deal about my birthday and all of that stuff when I was little, and like the parties and the games we used to play and all that stuff. I'm just like, oh my God.
yes. See, games. I've been to a couple of birthday parties. There's no games. They're just oh man, they're missing out on what we had.
Yes.
They really. I feel sad for them. I feel bad for them.
Right. Like I have fond memories of like going, actually, I think I did a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party twice. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember the one when I was 6. I remember that one so much, because in order for the band to sing happy birthday to the birthday person, they had to be in the room sitting at the table. And I was all over I was playing all the games and stuff, and they were like, we will not sing happy birthday to Nicole until she is in here. And I remember my parents constantly coming out there and they're like, Nicole, skip it. Nick, get in there. And I'm like, no. And I'm like playing the games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, I'm so excited to chat with you.
Do they have the ball pit still?
Yes.
You see, they don't have it now. And the ball pit was everything.
I just, and like, I'll save it, because I want to tag on to, because I have a feeling I know where this response is going to land.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to hold that thought. So the first question that I have for you, Nikki, is what inspired you to become a writer?
I used to love to write all the time. My earliest memory was actually receiving a little journal. I think I was about 8 years old. Little diary, had a little lock on it. So super cute. And I would write in that thing every day. Don't remember what I was writing about at 8 or 9. My mom still has it somewhere, but I would just write it in every day. And then I remember in elementary school, we would have creative writing. You would sit there, the teacher would say, all right, for about 30 minutes, you're just gonna write. It's like, At first that sounded, what am I gonna write about? What the heck? But it was exciting because you would just sit there for a minute, think about something, pull anything out of the air, write about it, and all of a sudden you have this beautiful story. And it came out of nowhere. And when time was up, I wanted to still write. You would look over, some kids will have maybe one or two sentences. Oh man, I had almost a whole page. So I like writing from a very, very early age. And it just continued.
Yeah, and then I think this segues really nicely into the next question. And before I ask this question, the thing that I will say, again, reemphasize, because I think the last time we had on a children's book author may have been season 1 or 2.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it's been a minute. And children's books, I feel like, are such an important gateway because this is what gets children to reading. And also what I love about children's books, because you'll be reading to children who are either still in the womb or
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
in like the incubator, or like barely crawling. They don't know how to read. So it's like a children's books is a family thing. It's a shared
Yes,
experience.
correct.
So why have you decided to focus on children's books? And then what age group is your focus and why?
In the words of the great late Whitney Houston, children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Thank you for
Ah,
finding a moment to insert the one of the greatest singers ever. Thank you.
oh yes, yes, love her. Um, Maya knows who Whitney is. But she hit it spot on because children, they are the most vulnerable demographic. They are so impressionable. They need to have that baseline. They need to have that foundation because terrible childhood that is going to lead to very terrible adults. So we need to actually build that foundation, give the kids their outlet, have the family, the community, prioritize community, all the things which in today's generation they're not deeming that as important, and that's scary. That is definitely a problem. So that's my little piece of me trying to change the world with this book, because this book does, it emphasizes friends, family, simplicity, back to basics, just being there for each other and growing together, imagination, all the things, which, yeah, we're missing that. These kids they're missing out on it because of these devices.
Yep, I was gonna say I knew that was gonna come. Not only the devices, which because also I teach arts management classes, and in my arts marketing class this
Oh,
semester,
nice.
I'm so glad we got to this. We talked a lot about marketing the generations, and I think they're Gen Alpha, like the little kids. They will not know an analog world. They will
At all.
not know a world beyond their phones, and just all of the information that you can get on your phone. Like one of the stories that I love telling. So I we don't live that far from New York City. So and I'm also in theater, so I go a lot. And
Nice.
yes, and I hate, oh my God, I hate the tourists who will like stand with their group in the middle of the street, taking up the whole side, looking at their phones, trying to
Yes.
figure out where they're going. And I'm like, I can easily rob you right now. You should have mapped out your trip before you got outside. But again, people are so dependent
Pendant. Mm-hmm.
on
Mm-hmm.
these. And I have a stepdaughter, she's 24, and I love how she'll like you get the because we all have iPhones, and she would get the whole, alert on Sundays. You have used your phone. And one time she was like, I've used my phone an average of 11 hours. How? And I'm like, I should start filming a documentary of you because you are on your
Yes.
phone a lot, girl. Like,
Yes. Yes. Adults, we're not better, but the kids, they don't know any better. So we need
yeah.
to kind of, no, let's get away from that. Let's go outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, that man, that's crazy. 11 hours, but you know what? That's
Mhm.
probably standard. That's probably
Yeah.
the
And then
average.
And then also too, everything that you can do on your phone, and this is such a solitary thing. Like it's you and the phone. It's really no one else. And even if you're on social media or texting someone and you're interacting with anyone else, you literally control the conversation. You control when you respond, how
Mm-hmm.
you respond, and all of that. And also, unlike real time conversations in person, where you're in front of someone, you feed off of someone else's energy and you
Yes,
respond. That's very different than this. So trust me,
absolutely.
I am very old school too. I'm very like I still don't even have TikTok. Like everybody's like, Nicole, why aren't you on TikTok? And I was just like, I saw somebody else's TikTok and the like quickness of the videos. I was just like, nope. Like no. Like
I think I posted one video. I was late to the party. I was like, I ain't got time for no. I don't want to. I'd rather have a conversation with somebody. I understand you get the reach. You can reach more people that way, but I don't want to be on this nonstop. I
yeah.
nope, don't want to do that. There's a whole big world out there you're not even noticing. That's
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Mhm.
So my next question for you, Nikki, is what is the origin story of Maya's birthday wish? Why is your first children's book about a birthday party? And how does this celebratory moment draw in the ideal reader?
Every kid can relate to a birthday party. I needed to create a book where they would be excited about it and they can relate to it. Birthday parties, whether you're going to one, whether you're having one, you're going to be excited about the birthday party. Of course, the cake, presents, the friends, you're going to be excited. So why not take that moment and try to offer something else? Because these birthday parties now are they're extravagant. Some birthday parties are like weddings. Like, woo, child. Okay, we're gonna mortgage the house for your birthday party. Okay, no, we're gonna go back to basics. And I wanted to incorporate that into my story here, where the kids are together having fun, playing cops and robbers, playing hide and go seek, hitting the pinata, just having a ball, having a blast. And there's not a pony ride in sight. Not a pony ride. People aren't on their phones. They're participating. They're in the moments. And then she actually has to solve her problem. Not a problem. She has to critically think of her birthday wish. And then she goes through all her imagination, but comes back around to something more meaningful. And that's what we need. We need to bring our kids back into not so much material things, but what really matters in life. And that's your family, your friends, things that you can't buy at a store. That is where we need to get back to.
Yeah, and thank you for the whole not buying things at a
Hmm.
store. It's like my husband and I, like when it comes to gifts, I love experiences.
Yes, same. Hmm.
And one of my favorite birthday gifts that he got me was so I'm also like because his like I'm my family's from the South and I'm into like spiritualism, tarot, and all those things. We don't live that far from the Harriet Beecher Stowe Center, Mark Twain House, and all those things. And Harriet Beecher Stowe, who wrote Uncle Top's Cabin. I love how
Yeah.
I'm a huge
Hmm.
fan of hers, but I can't remember what book she wrote.
She wrote
And
that one.
yes. And I didn't
Mhm.
realize this, but she was huge into spiritualism. So we like haunted houses and all like we're weird. He likes going to visit cemeteries. But for this
Oh.
birthday, he got me the spiritualism tour and a tarot reading. And I was like, this is what I mean. I'm like, I like experiences. I don't necessarily
Hmm.
because I'm like get like things I can buy myself.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Hmm.
Yeah, I can
Hmm.
buy those things myself. And then also, I haven't been to a little kid, and I have my best friends, their children are fairly young, but I haven't been to in like years. And so it sounds like children's parties have changed from what I remember them being.
Oh, oh yes, yes, a lot. And the gifts get bigger. And so, okay, we're gonna go to so and so's house. But I agree with you. I'm always giving people an experience because
Mhm,
they'll remember that. That's a memory. They're creating memories. I get the movie core memories.
mhm.
Okay, you can't do that with the gift card to Amazon. What are we gonna do with that? What are we gonna do with that? No, I mean, no, hey, no shade,
No
but
shade.
that, but I would. I feel like you need to give an experience, even if it's a gift card to a movie theater. At least they're going out, they're bonding, they're not on their phone. That's my whole crusade. Just get off the device for just a little bit, just a little bit. I didn't
Yeah.
talk so much. I forgot the question.
No, you're good. And I think you were on it. And then also, I would well, I'll save that question for like the question I ask about the animation because it's a really because I've seen interviews with you. It's a really sweet story. So, and I also think it might come out in this response too. So, prior to having our guests on Black Writers Read, we ask each of them why they write. Here's what you offered. My goal is to promote creativity, imagination, and critical thinking to a generation that no longer deems these qualities as important. Children are becoming addicted to devices that they are missing out on childhood. I am trying to get kids excited about reading and having childhood fun through stories. What better way to start the process with Maya's birthday wish? So, how have your experiences as a parent informed how you write?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would feel that I'm more intentional about writing now. Now I need to write not only to entertain, I'm trying to write to shape, to nurture, to promote something that they won't get anywhere else necessarily. That is definitely the goal. Got to be more careful about what's in here for these little minds. Read with a purpose. That is, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to do.
And then the next question that I have, I'm going to, as you respond to this question, I'm going to share screen of the website, but I love that your website features sketches of the evolution of illustrating Maya and her family. Can you
Hmm.
talk about how you created Maya and her family as characters and why was it important to you to include the evolution of the illustrations on your website?
That is, it, to me, it's important to see where you start and where the finished product. It's a journey because we started. Mom looked a certain way. Like, don't like that. The characters are based on my family. See how I didn't like that? What the heck? So,
Yes.
but yes, it's just I wanted people to see the behind the scenes, behind what actually goes into creating this story, this book. It's not easy. You got to go through a lot of changes, just like in life. You got to go through a lot of changes, a lot of different things before you get the final result.
Mhm. And is
Oh,
this you? Are you the
it's
mom?
it is me. It's supposed to be me. But yes, the character is based on myself. Yes, and then my husband
Aw.
there. Mm-hmm.
And then I think this is a great place to ask this question. Who is Maya?
Maya is my daughter, my 5-year-old daughter, COVID baby. She is. People say they're like, what? How was that? That's a whole nother topic and conversation that'll just go on forever. But that is my daughter.
Yeah, and what I'll do in the description, I will share because one of the interviews that I watched, and this was a great place for people to go to. It's it's a video podcast called The Motherhood Experience, and you talk a lot about your journey on becoming a mother and Maya.
Hmm.
And I would love for people to go there and watch because it was such a beautiful interview.
Yeah, that was actually, she surprised me. I didn't get the sense that we were going to go that way, in that direction, but you never know when you're talking. You never
Yeah.
know. I was incredibly nervous, but we just kept it going. I just kept it honest, and
Yeah.
it became a beautiful thing.
Nice. And I always love an opportunity to shout out other podcasters.
See, love it. See,
Yes.
love it. There's more than enough. No hate, no jealousy. That's good.
Yeah.
Support each other. I love it. We need more of that.
Yeah, and also
Hmm.
to my fellow colleagues at the other Black Literary Podcast, I do hope that you have Nikki on at some point. Because there's a couple of Black Literary podcasts that I follow, and many of them have been on here. That I hope
Nice.
that you'll be on as well.
Nice.
So speaking of illustrations, they are a very important component to children's books. Can you
Yes.
talk about the illustrator for Maya's book Birthday Wish? How did you select your illustrator, and can you talk about the overall process of creating and finalizing the illustrations of your book?
Yes. Norizaki is the illustrator. She did an amazing job. She captured my vision perfectly. I found her through the publisher. So they Bookbox Press. They gave me a sample of multiple artists, illustrators, and I was looking through them, and I'm like, don't like that process. But then Nor, her work was beautiful and that spoke to me, that spoke to my spirit. So I said, you know what? I feel like she could capture my idea of who Maya, the character is supposed to be. And I mean, that's her. That is Maya. So Nor, she was a recommendation from the publisher. So she nailed it.
Yeah, and then
Mhm.
also if you can talk a little bit about the process of like creating the characters, like did you, when you talked with Nora, did you say, hey, this is the idea, or did she do research on you and be like, here's some sketches? Like, can you talk a little bit more about that
Oh,
process?
yeah. So with that, I gave her the idea. She had the script, but then I did submit some pictures after I decided, you know what? I want the story to actually be based on our family. So then I just sent her a couple of pictures of first Maya and our little dog that makes a cameo in there. And then I sent her pictures of my husband and myself. And then she did her best to recreate us. And she did a really, really good job. So she did have a lot of influence and from us, and then she just went to work. And she actually there's a video that she's doing the sketches, that she's actually creating it. So that was pretty cool. Like, yeah, Nora. So I hope to work with her in my next book as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, and also this I think leads into the next question. This is an aside question that I just thought about, so my apologies in not including it earlier.
That's fine. So
But how long did it take for you to go from idea to finished product?
that was about a year. I want to say a little bit over a year, so maybe about
Oh,
13 months.
wow.
I remember having the inspired thought. I had a dream because what Maya was saying, I don't want to grow. You're good. That, and then look, watching these children, how they need some help. What we gonna do? And
What
then
we
I just
gonna
had it
do?
right. I'm like, what we gonna do with these children? Then it just came from that inspired thought, that dream. Then I wrote the manuscript. I want to say in about 2 days.
Mhm.
And then I was like, what am I going to do with it now? Because I have it. I wrote it. I think it's good. I may need a second opinion. So then I had it, did some research, found an editor in my area, sent it to him. That came back, I want to say about 48 hours too, very fast. It was incredibly fast, incredibly fast. And I was even shocked. I had no idea about this whole process, this whole thing. I'm just going for it. And so it came back, minor corrections. I did those corrections, sent it to the next step. I was like, oh wow. Then we got the illustrator. Then we had to put it all together. I was like, so when it's all said and done, it was about a little over a year. Yes, almost like having a baby.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so
That's such a great
yeah.
process. I love it.
I feel like I got extremely lucky because I've heard horror stories where it takes long or it takes years. But I'm thinking this is a children's book. Shouldn't take 3 to 4 years. I mean, it's children, but yeah, I've heard all kinds of
Yeah.
things. But I got extremely
Yeah.
lucky.
And then also too, and a lot of times I have these conversations with my guests aside and not on air because of just how the industry works. But I've heard, stories of like the book was acquired by one publisher and then either the publisher closed or something happened. And then it took a while to get picked up again. And then it got picked up by another publisher, and that publisher wanted to change the entire scope of the book. Like I've heard all kinds of stories.
Yes, I'm telling you, on the job training because so this would be considered a self published book. Didn't even realize there was a difference. Didn't even know. really, really new. So self-published versus traditional publishing, I'm definitely seeing the difference now. So this one's more of, I would say, so I'm an independent author, so you won't see this splashed everywhere until it gets, more notoriety. Traditional publishing, you get all the marketing, you get everything behind it, all in all the books, big box retailers, bookstores, all the things. So this is grassroots. That's what I'm doing.
Mm,
But definitely trying to get into as many hands as possible because the
mhm,
story behind it is so, I feel like we definitely need that for our kids today.
mm. And speaking of, and thank you for that, for sharing a little, because I was wondering if this was um independent or traditional
Hmm.
publishing. So, in terms of, I have a question later about this, but are there ways that we can help you besides purchasing the book? Like, are there particular places you would like for folks to review the book? Like, get it into libraries? Are there like particular strategies that we all can help with?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for that question. I'm working tirelessly trying to get it into, it won't go into big box retailers without a lot of momentum, a lot of sales, and all the things. I got to come with all the sales. So right now, I'm trying to get into more schools. I'm trying to get into, I've got a couple libraries, but I'm trying to get into more. Reviews are always helpful. I have
Mhm,
quite a strong review, a lot of reviews on Amazon.
mhm,
Go out there, leave that 5 stars. Yes, thank you. On goodreads.com, that's good too. That's a big one. But yeah, just leave the reviews for me. Purchase the book, leave the reviews, all share it on your social media. That's definitely how we're gonna that we can grow it.
Yeah, because that's another mission of Black Writers
Mhm.
Read. It's not only to chat with authors, but to get their work into people's hands. Like, one of the
Yes.
things that I've started, so I teach part-time at various different colleges because I don't have a full-time teaching job right now. And I established at each of those, at least two of those places, they have a Black Writers Read bookshelf, which features books that were written by our authors and talked about on the podcast. And I also, because I teach English and writing, I like to, in some of my classes, and it takes a lot of jumping through hoops, but it's so beautiful when it can happen. I ask if I can, at least each year in one particular class, ask if I can teach one of the books that was featured on the podcast. And I'm teaching one right now that was talked about in season 5. And I'm also, because I'm tapped into like a lot of libraries and things like that, I've also been talking, because I live in Northern Connecticut and I work in Western Massachusetts, talking with a lot of libraries, independent bookstores, to get the authors that have been featured on the podcast there. So not only do I spread the word on authors on this platform, I'm also trying to get the books in people's hands so that they can read
Beautiful.
them. Mhm.
See? Beautiful. Because without community and support, what the
Yeah.
heck? It's very hard. But it's not impossible. I learned the other day that what is that? 50 Shades of Grey was a
Mhm.
self-published book, and that is a global phenomenon.
And
So I'm
became a
like,
movie.
it became a movie. So what is it, like 3 movies? So
Yeah.
no, it can be done. It's just you gotta like with anything, you gotta work at it. You gotta network. You gotta communicate. You just gotta do all the
Mhm.
things. You just gotta prioritize it. You want it bad enough. Let's go.
Yeah, and you also,
Hmm.
and I hope this is okay for me to mention, but it's, you also have to be very open to where you have your books too, because I think I saw a picture of you on social media and a child bought the book and it looked like y'all were in one of your work locations, it looked like.
Yes, because I have the trust to believe this is going to be at my store. It's at
Yeah.
my job. Yep. And I getting positive feedback. Everybody who's purchased the book, they'll come back and tell me, "Oh, I loved it. It was so good." I even have one little girl. She was scared to come up to me. I'm like, "Girl, what?" It's one of our customers. His daughter read the book, loved the book, and then he brought her into the store, and she was so nervous. You see me here all the time. Why are you nervous? And
Oh,
we took a picture. Oh, that's so
that's cute.
cute.
You have a
Oh
fan.
yeah. I said that, and I'm like, oh, I have a little fan. But it's just me. So I didn't really know how to react. I'm all Auntie Nikki, just come give me a hug. What do you mean? So
Oh,
I mean, we're trying one kid at a time. We're trying. Get off the phone.
yeah. Get off the
Don't
phone.
play outside.
Yeah.
It'll always come back to that. Just get off
Get
the
off the
phone. Go
phone.
play. Go outside. Go play.
Yes. And I also love too
Yeah.
that families can buy like coloring pages from your website,
Hmm.
merchandise, so it lives beyond the actual physical book.
Yes, absolutely. That experience. So my little coloring pages, they do have little. Um, of course, you can color it, but it has little sayings. It has things for you to do, and always something to think about. So always trying to help the kids learn by any means, but make it exciting at the same time. So
See,
we try.
this is why you're also an educator.
We're about to be a home educator for sure. Oh
Nice, because you're
yeah.
because of just the way that you think, because it's one thing, and this is gonna be a crazy example before I go into my next to last question. It's one thing to write a book and allow the child to have a vivid imagination. It's something else to have. Yup. So I have two dogs, and they are like my co-hosts, and they're doing all kinds of stuff in the background.
I love it.
And the next is something else where you give your child something to read, and it can live off of the page, like the activities that come
Hmm.
with it, and also the life skills that they can learn from that particular work.
Correct. Correct. See, I
Yeah.
love it. Not just a book. You're learning.
Yes.
Hmm. In a good way.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yes.
for you,
Yes.
Nikki, what is the most rewarding part of the publishing process? And then what is the most challenging? And I pose this question because we rarely have an opportunity to chat with children's book authors. And it is my understanding that the process of publishing a children's book can sometimes be very challenging
Hmm.
because you have beta readers of various ages, including
Hmm.
families and young children. And then children's books depend on an interconnected relationship between the narration, words, and illustration. So, what was the most rewarding part of this process? And then what was the most challenging? And I think you kind of shared a little bit of that already.
A little bit. But the most rewarding, definitely the finished product, because you put so much of your heart and soul and then the time and all the things. But when it's finished and you're holding that tangible book in your hand, oh, it's amazing. It's like I mentioned before, it's like holding your baby for the first time. I was so excited to open that book. My husband actually recorded the video. I was so excited to see that it's done. It's here from my mind to a tangible book. It's incredible. It just like a baby in your mind, you dream about the kid all the time, and then when you actually hold the baby, best feeling in the world. So that beautiful. Challenging would be the actual process of publishing, the rejection of traditional publishing, because that is a definitely much more challenging because you do have to find somebody who's willing to invest in your book, willing to pick up your book and then do all the promotion. That in itself is challenging. Self-publishing is your book is going to get out there, and there's a little stigma. I'm like, okay, is it good? Was it good enough? And that's why I'm battling a little bit of that now because I didn't go the traditional route. So now, oh, self-publishing. I don't know about all that. That would be my challenge. What I'm facing now is should I have gone traditional publishing and risk being rejected time and time again, or go the route that I did so the book can be out there? It can actually, the story, my message can get into people's hands. So that would be my challenge is figuring out which route you want to take. and how long you want to invest in waiting. Because traditional, you're going to wait. It will take longer, no matter what type of work you're doing.
So I'd like to shout out two authors who have been on actually, no, three Black Writer Reads authors who have been on, who either started in independent publishing and then over time became New York Times bestsellers, or
Yes.
started in traditional publishing and are doing indie projects now because of the way that the trad industry is going. Reese Ryan, who does contemporary romance, and she wrote like 30 books trad. Victoria Christopher Murray, who I believe started independent, became traditional, and I believe one of her books was turned, or no, three of her books were turned into Lifetime movies.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, and then Share to Race, she's romance, she's independent publishing, and is very popular. She's romance. And then there is one author, I'm hoping I am quoting this correctly, Kennedy Ryan. She is like big bestseller with romance. I believe she started independent as well.
Oh, see, it can be done.
It can be done.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good.
Yeah. So
Love
you
to see it.
have, yeah, so you have a legacy of folks to follow
Correct.
in terms of independent. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I in terms of my writing, I've published a couple of things independent, but they were like anthologies featuring other people's work. And I'm not gonna lie, the process of getting it done and real actually, yep, I've worked on two anthologies. The process of getting of getting the art done, like the writing,
Hmm.
independently was a beautiful process because you could do it on your own timeline, and then also you had control of what the finished product looked like. I think the advantage that traditional publishing can give you is it has the business and the backing in terms of the
Right.
publicity,
Correct.
in terms of distribution and getting your work out there. But
Right.
when it becomes, but yeah, so there's some benefits and drawbacks to each. I definitely know, which I don't know if you're following. There's been this really interesting conversation on social media. Like I think Roxanne Gay and a couple of other big name Black authors have started talking about it, where the traditional publishing industry is changing so much to where Black authors, especially Black women authors, are being left behind. Their books aren't purposefully put in big box stores and all these things. And they want to have a larger conversation about why there is this change. So I will definitely say I want to cheer you on being independent, because you can at least have control of
Hmm.
the chain that's getting your work out there. Even though it's a lot harder, it is so much harder. But
Harder, not impossible. Harder, not impossible though. So
yeah,
yes, yes, yes. But I do like it can be done. It
yeah.
can be done. Definitely
Yeah.
for sure. We gotta get rid of that stigma though. That stigma, the indie
Yes.
authors. Yes, indie authors, not good. We gotta get rid of that. Gotta get rid of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it also doesn't help, and then I'll get to my last question. It also doesn't help that we have a situation. I'm not going to name the person because I don't want to enter this conversation, but there is a really popular author who recently got a contract with one of the top 5 publishers, and the New York Times did an expose on her book, and come to find out her book was written by AI, and now she lost the contract, and the company has pulled her
Yeesh.
book. And the book originally was published independently, and it was written AI. So and then now I'm hearing AI can write a book in like an hour. I'm like, what? And
Yeah.
so right, and so independent
Mm-hmm.
publishing now has that to battle with. The thing that I can say is the stigma of independent publishing is lifting, but now we have the conversation of AI and
Exactly.
possibly destroying it. And I'm just like, great.
That. Oh yes, I am not a fan. Mm-mm.
Mm.
we will have this conversation. We'll be here all day.
We'll be here
AI,
all
see,
day if we
all
start
day.
talking about AI.
Listen, look, AI. I'm right now. I am not a fan because of that very reason. We're just getting. You're in education. We're just getting it. We're getting dumber because now you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to know anything, and you can just
Yeah.
float around here in life. Dang, it
Yeah.
blows. It's incredible to see. It is incredible to see.
Yeah. And with my students, I literally tell them, and I, in my English writing classes, I tell them, yes, I don't want you to write using AI because it's horrible. I don't want you using AI because it will deceive you. And they're
Hmm.
like, how? And I literally will have them pull up like ChatGPT or something like that, and I'll be like, okay, pose a question to it. Pose a question, then they get the response, then we look through the response, and I'll be like, look, something spelled wrong.
Yeah.
This is not like literally. It will be like Cinderella married the I forgot the name of what is his name from Beauty and the Beast, that prince. Right. It will literally deceive you. And I'm like,
Oh
this is
goodness.
why I don't want y'all using it because it
Right.
deceives you. And I'm just like, just use your brain. It's not that hard.
It's not, but it's just the brain is. We only use what 10% of it anyway, but now it's getting less because of digital things. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary out here.
It's so scary out here in these
It
streets.
is. It is. It's scary. And that's so kind of taking it back to the book and how I'm raising Maya, how my husband and I are raising Maya is you don't get the tablets, you don't get the devices because I need you to be able to think on your own first before you start getting influenced by social media, getting influenced by movies, things like that. No, think first. I need you to be able to critically think. So, and I need you to
Nice.
have fun. I need you to have situational awareness. We are doing this at 5 years old. I need you to be able to see. You need
Mhm.
to see. I can't have you walking with the phone and about to get run over by a car because I might be the one
Exactly.
that does it because just to teach you a lesson. But but it's yeah. You can't be dependent on that thing.
Yeah. And then the other story I tell students too, one of the reasons why we need y'all to critically think is, let's say for example you need to buy a new car. You've done all this research and you've already identified the things that you need in a car and the car that you want. You go to a dealership, salesmen are there to sell you a product. Doesn't matter, they are trying to make their money, so they will tell you whatever they need to tell you. And I live really close to train tracks, if you can hear the train, but
A little bit.
yes, but they will tell you whatever they need to tell you to get you to walk out the door with a product that will make them money. And
Correct.
right. And so I say to students, you need to stand firm in what you need. And you are the only one that knows what you need. But guess what? You need critical thinking skills to be able to decipher the things that you need.
Correct. 100%, which is now lacking. They don't. These kids. They don't have it.
They don't.
I will actually hear stories of people asking ChatGPT, "What should I do in life?"
Are
Hmm.
you serious?
What you say? What did you say? What should you do? Oh yes, yes. And then ChatGPT will, you should maybe start this business. And then the person will go, true story. The person went out and bought all the things needed to start this business. And then I ask, follow up. So how's that going? Didn't even pursue any of that. Nothing. Nothing. So why did you spend all this money and I yeah. What are we gonna do?
What are we going to do?
I know, because if you're asking ChatGPT what is your purpose and what we're gonna do in life, we got bigger problems.
We have much bigger, and yeah, if you're dependent on ChatGPT to tell you, ooh, we are a hot mess. Like just
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but we can one person at a time. We can kind of
mhm.
help them see the light. Like, no, use it for what it's there for. Don't ask life questions like that. You can't.
Yeah.
That's when you need to talk and communicate to an actual person. How about we bounce some ideas off each other? Not. Yeah.
Yay.
So, but
Yeah.
and not knocking anybody who relies on it. Not knocking it. Not at
Mhm.
all. Just let's have some other options.
Yeah, there's like I tell my students there's a use for it. Like let's say for example you're reading a book and you're having a really hard time understanding a section. I'm like
Mhm.
type in a question in ChatGPT about that particular section and then it will give you, it will give you it's a tool to help, not a tool to do everything. Mhm.
Agreed.
Yeah. And so our time together has come to an end. I would
All right.
love, yeah, already, right. Already. So, Nikki, I would love to know what is next for you and how can a Black Writers Read community support you on this journey?
Oh, what's next? Let's see. The sky's the limit. But what is next? I do have a second book getting ready to go to the editor, and we'll see how that performs. And then after that, we're just going to keep trying to get into the retailers, trying to the world one book at a time, trying to get people back to basics, back to nature, back to connection, family, things of that nature. But I would definitely appreciate pick up your copy of Maya's Birthday Wish, leave us a review, and tell all your friends and family.
And what I love about children's books is they're books that you can share and read as a family, especially if you have very small children.
Correct. Perfect birthday gift. Everything. If you just want something that is not is something out of the box, but at the same time something kids can relate to, be excited about, and at the same time they're learning their values. So we need that baseline. That's
Yeah.
the book. That is the book for you, that foundation.
Yeah. And that's something else you mentioned too, values. People have lost like what their north star is. People have
Hmm.
like literally lost what is the core purpose of them doing things. Like so much.
Yes. And see, I keep going back to the devices, but it's also we talked about this a little bit about community. If the
Mhm.
parents are still trying to just get that money, we got to go work every hour of the day is focused on getting that money. All right,
Mhm.
who's here to help your kid? The screen is here to help your kids
Yeah.
to figure things out. Can't have that. We need to bring back the family, the community, the
Yeah.
neighbors, everybody. We just gotta get back to how it was. The world would be much
Yeah.
better.
Yes. I miss the communities I grew up in where like literally like I mentioned when we were off air, street light came on, Nick, get
Yep.
home, it's getting dark. Or
Yep.
like we carpool, like my dad did a carpool to people for work. We carpooled getting to school if somebody needed like a cup of sugar or something like it. And then also just looking
Yes.
out for one another. We kind of have that neighborhood now where we live. And it's ironic because New England is all about the self, individualism, and all of those stuff. I'm lucky that we live in a neighborhood where, like, for example, not to talk about her, especially since she's in the other room. My stepdaughter, she used to open at coffee shop up the street really early in the morning and would ride her bike there. And it would be like 4:30 in the morning, pitch black. One of our neighbors came over with a reflecting jacket and was like, I'm gonna need Natasha to wear this when she's on her bike because people can't see her. And I'm like,
See?
yeah,
Yes. I love that so much.
yeah.
Now,
I
now we
yeah,
don't even know
we
our neighbors.
Yeah, we live I'm so blessed that we live in a neighborhood like that. Or like our neighbor to the left of us, like will help like plow out our snow. The neighbor
Yeah.
to the right of us, she has a sedan. It was having because we live like up a little slope and she was having a hard time getting her car up because we recently got it's now melted, but we got like 30 inches of snow one time
Oh
and my
yeah.
husband ran out to help her push her car. Or we have like times when people are traveling and they'll be like, can you dog sit? What are our plants? Like I love this little neighborhood. And I'm like, I haven't had a
See,
neighborhood like this in a while.
absolutely. See, that is beautiful. I love it, and
Yeah.
it's lost. So we try to get that back, one person at a time, one
Yeah.
conversation at a time. all we can do.
Yeah.
We can do.
So, Nikki, thank you so much for writing. Thank you so much for like literally getting people to read and to talk.
Yeah, we trying. Sometimes I talk too much, but we trying.
Yes.
Yes. No, I love what you are doing. So thank you for having me and 100th guest. Woo, woo,
Yes. I cannot
woo.
believe I made because it literally Black Writers Read literally started as a one night event. It was only supposed to be one night. And then all of a sudden people were like, we need to do this more. And I'm like, you realize there's only one of me. And it just grew and grew and grew and grew
Yes.
and grew. And I'm like, so I thank you for being a part of that community.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take you off and wrap us off of you because I know it's after 12 o'clock your time. So if you could just stick around for just like a couple of minutes and then we'll have our afternoons back.
All right. Sounds good.
Cool. Thank you so much, Nikki.
Thank you.
So thank you all so much for joining me for episode 22 of season 6 of Black Writers Read. And thank you so much to Nikki for being our 100th guest this afternoon. I'll be back in mid-April to celebrate National Poetry Month. Follow us on Instagram at Black Writers Read, and we'll be announcing our next guest soon. Support Black Writers Read by subscribing to my YouTube channel, Nicole Young Martin, where many of you are joining us from today. I am also available on audio podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, and Amazon Music. Not only do we take the audio from these interviews and post them there, we also post bonus episodes. Like I'm about to post a bonus episode soon from one of the live events that we did recently. And when you are there, please subscribe and drop a review as the algorithms. It helps other people to find us. We are also available on Patreon. If you are so moved and are able, please support Black Writers Read. By supporting us in these various ways, you're helping us to sustain the platform, which is independently produced and self-funded. And again, we just had our 100th guest on, so I'm so excited. Visit blackwritersread.com to learn more about the podcast. So thank you all for joining us this afternoon, and more importantly, for ensuring that Black authors and writers continue to matter. I will see you soon.